Hi, Trish.
How are you doing, girl?
I'm good. How are you, honey?
I am. You know what? I'm doing just fine. I'm doing as well as can be expected. I'm trying not to lie. Y'all, welcome to a new episode of What I Know So Far. I'm Trish Sir with the ever so fabulous Karen Mills. And this week, we've got a lot to carry on about. But this week, I told Kay, I said, we need to start talking about the stuff that we're working on. And I'm working on learning how to say no. I'm not good at it. I'm not good at it.
I'm terrible at it. I always have been. You know, I come from the people pleaser.
Yeah.
Being Southern and being a woman and being, all the things. You just don't want to disappoint anybody. You don't want, it's just a nightmare.
Check. I mean, It really is. And you don't realize, I feel like, too, yes, women are people pleasers in general. I think we're raised that way. I'm grateful that the newer generations are less so. But younger, I should say newer. I don't know what we call them. These 2.0s, these 3.0s, these Gen Alpha. Yeah. A little less, so grateful for that. But I just think we were raised in the South, too, with this extra layer of manners, like a yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes or no sir. Like I got that ingrained in me before I left the house to like just be extra kind. And not that kindness is bad whatsoever.
Oh, no, not at all.
It's wonderful. But you don't have to say yes to everything. I can think back to going over to people's houses. Like I love cheese. Who doesn't love cheese? But I've never been a big fan of pimento cheese. Not been my thing. It just hadn't. It's okay. As a Southerner, I'm sure I'm going to be put on Southern probation for saying that. But and we go to people's houses, and they'd be like, my mom would be like, try Mrs. Tamer's. Go ahead and try her pimento cheese. And I was like, no. And my mom would be like, you say yes. And so just little stuff like that where I'm like, oh, yes, thank you. So, I should just say no, thank you. Like, I don't want to waste it was my first thought as a child. Uh-huh. But we're not raised that way.
No, it doesn't matter what it is. You know, what, you're going to have to go to the emergency room if you eat it? Well, I eat it anyway.
I'm tickled, yes. That's got walnuts. I'm allergic. Here's an EpiPen. It's the Southern way. So I'm really working on my nose. Along with my nose, which is the second part of this, is I'm working on not saying sorry, because I feel like that's the addendum to not saying no, is instead of just saying, if somebody's even in my way, this just happened at the grocery store. This guy was on the wrong side. There's cart etiquette, everybody. You drive up one side, everybody knows. It's like driving a car. You drive your cart on one way down the aisle, you drive the other way down the aisle.
Right.
And he's on the wrong side of the aisle. And I said, I'm so sorry. To me. I said, I'm sorry. It wasn't my fault. I should have said, are you from our country? Because you might be from somewhere that drives on the other side of a road. I don't know. If not, do you drive? Because it was just madness to me. But then what did I say? I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, somebody can run into me, and I'm like, oh, sorry. And they ran into me.
Yes.
But it's just, it's just so ingrained in us to always just make sure everybody's okay. I don't want you to feel like you did anything wrong, so let me apologize for it. I mean, it doesn't make sense.
If that ain't the truth, speak on that. That is so true. I don't want to upset anybody else, so I want to make sure you're okay, even though I did absolutely nothing.
Nothing. I don't want you to feel bad like you did something, so let me just take the
ownership.
Responsibility. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, my Lord, I'm so sorry. Why? I didn't do anything.
I know. It is. It's nuts.
It is.
And that is one great thing with age.
Yes,
I do apologize less. I don't know. I can't say that I apologize less, but what I do is I don't do things I don't want to do. I will say no more. Let me put it that way. I say no more. I still probably apologize more than I should, but I do. If I don't want to go, I'm not going. And if I get somewhere and I want to leave, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah,
if I have to search for parking too long, guess who's just not even coming in? Your girl.
Who had an emergency.
I had an emergency. I hate to tell you this. I ain't got it in me. It's like I just don't have it in me. I know now, even for when I go over into Hollywood, and I love doing stand-up, y'all, but going out and working on new material in Los Angeles, it can be a headache. You've got to run around, do a bunch of rooms, because you're working on new stuff, so you got to go and do it. But Lord, if somebody asks me to come to a show and it is like having to launch a shuttle to get the logistics of where to go, I'm like, nah. I'll work it out for my dogs. If they bark, that's like a laugh. Like I'll work. I don't have it in me sometimes anymore to do wacky logistics for things. So I am getting better about that. Like I will say, what's the parking situation? What is, what are we doing? Like all the things.
What time's it going to be over?
What time is it going to be over? I will tell you that's my new favorite question. I ask for the length of time, and the way I'm doing my tour schedule now is I ask for the earliest possible show time. And
Me too.
I know you get it because we all don't want to be like, we can still have fun. We can still be fun, but we don't want to go to bed at 11:30, 12 o'clock. Nah, I want to be home tearing all this down by 9:30 latest.
I always say, if you invite me to something, if you see my wheels start turning, that means I'm doing math.
That's right.
If I get home at this time, then it's going to be this time. By the time I get my face washed, and I got to get out of my clothes, and by the time I actually get in bed. So if you see me doing math, I'm not coming. Just know that.
Okay, preach. And if I have to say, I need an end time because I got to know about dog care because that's a real thing.
It is.
Like people are like, oh, you don't have kids or you don't have. I'm like, have you met me? I got these 2 fur children that run my life. And anybody that's a good dog parent knows, pet parent in general, you got to schedule how long you're away. They're going to need a potty. They've got to eat. And I got this doodle that holds me to a schedule. And then I got to worry about how mad he is at me for the next 2 days because I went out.
He holds a grudge.
He holds a grudge. And that's real. So you're right. I start mathing and I'm like, this feels like heavy lifting. I ain't got it in me. I think the pandemic did it a little worse to me too.
Yeah, I think so too.
Getting out made me start going, okay, I love to be social in small increments. Like, I love to be social, but I got to get back on my power pad. Like, I need to get back and recharge my social battery. So that's also helped with my nose. And I've realized too, it makes you weed. I shouldn't say weed out, but I'm going to use that term. And y'all tell us, like, totally leave us a message when we put this clip up. Do y'all feel like that saying no helps you know what your friend group is better? Like, it helps you create better friendships? Because if my friendship to you becomes conditional on when I can do things and it's only on your schedule and that kind of stuff, I'm like, hey, this feels one-sided. I need a work-life balance. I need a friendship balance, and know that, you may live a little farther. Let's meet in the middle. We're only going to do this because I don't have the bandwidth to be out till all hours of the night. I don't want to do that anymore.
Well, I can tell you right now, if someone is mad at me because I chose not to go or I had to cancel or whatever, they're not in my friend circle. I can tell you that, right? Unless you can say, I get it, girl. If I can't say, I'm so sorry, I'd love to see you, but I'm exhausted and I just want to stay in. I get it, girl. If you don't have that answer, then you're booted.
Right?
My friend circle.
It does get easier and easier, and I think there's power to saying, my papa used to say, I have 5 good friends, and he said, all my good friends I can count on one hand and not use all my fingers. That's what he would say. And I'd be like, well, I'd say, I got a bunch of friends. I mean, granted, I was probably like 13. I was like, oh, God, Lord, Papa needs more friends. But really, I get now, man, that preaches. And I can use all my hands and not use all my fingers because I like keeping that circle small. Not that I don't love acquaintances and like going out and doing with people, but yeah, Kay, I'm with you. If somebody's going to get on me because I still have it in me, I'd rather someone be honest and say, look, I love you. I don't have it in my bandwidth to drive 3 hours to you, be with you for 2, and have to turn around and drive 3 hours back. Because where I live in Southern California, that's a real thing. Yeah. And I might only be going 25 miles.
That's right. Yeah, the way that traffic is, that's exactly right. So
it's true.
It is. It's quite a commitment, and I enjoy a good social event just like anybody else. But I have there's just limits, and of course. Even though I can say no easier now than I used to, anyone who knows me well can look at me and know when I'm done.
100%. You know what? You actually truly do have a done face, Kay. You have an official done face. That is so true. Oh my gosh. Do you want to tell the folks at home in case anybody sees it, or are we going to keep that quiet? Because Kay's done face. I mean, truly, I swear to the hand of the Lord, it might as well have a neon sign that says closed. Like she just,
I mean,
you're done.
I glaze over,
Yep.
and Newbern, North Carolina, we're at the Gays' house, those two men.
I will never
and-
forget that. Should we tell that story to
Yeah.
a degree? Okay, y'all. This is one of the best, greatest stories in the history of my life. I would almost say Karen and Leanne's as well.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
when you have a night in your life that you will truly never forget, and you're so grateful that there were other people to co-sign the crazy because you're like, this can't be real. And then you all go back and had the same experience, and you're like, yes, in fact, this was real. Okay, so we're on the road somewhere in South Carolina by the coast. We're just going to keep this as vague as we can to not hurt the innocent. We finish a show, and this lovely, darling couple, husband and husband, they invited us over to the house for after dinner drinks and some snacks. Wasn't that it? Because it wasn't a full dinner.
Right.
And Karen's going to color in stuff because there were points where I just blacked out for safety. And I was sober. I'm telling you, blacked out because sometimes mentally things are too much to take in, and you have to just start going, what? So Leanne and Karen and I shared the same experience, but it was this darling couple who had a massive house. Wouldn't you say it was about 6,000 to 8,000 square feet?
Oh, had to be.
Okay. And every room was designed to the nines in a different theme.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm not saying it's well designed. I'm just saying it's designed to the nines in a different theme in each room. We're talking valances and borders and wallpaper and matching throw pillows. And I mean, there was a chintz on plaid, on ivory, on cream, on rose, like in every room. Okay, so we get in. Where do I start, Kay? Do I start with the Golden Girls, or do you tell the Golden Girls?
No, then we got to end with the Golden Girls.
Okay.
'Cause
Well, first they want to give us a tour. Okay. And we start, and I think I blacked out again. One of the bedrooms was coastal and the bathroom was seashell themed. Like, again, borders and wallpaper and matching soaps. It was so much. And the one husband loved a practical joke. So he had all these, I don't know, like dummies.
like legs coming out from under the bed.
Yeah. So it looked like a person was sticking out from under the bed.
Yeah, or one of those things like a spoon that looked like it'd been dropped that had like ice cream on it or something.
Looks like it's melted,
All
but
this
it's
stuff
not.
was placed
Everywhere.
every-
On carpet where you're like, oh, is that apple pie with melted ice cream? No, he got you. And so I'm in full, like, I have the worst poker face and my jaw is down. Karen is just like being bemused. I would say you're not even amused, it's bemused, where you'd give like a obligatory chuckle. Leanne, being Leanne Morgan, was like, oh, now what made you get into that? I was like, I love Leanne. Leanne held this train together because Karen and I was suspect like somebody may actually be a serial killer, right? Like I thought there's a lot of rooms. This could be a sitch, funeral home upbringing, right?
We may
So
not be leaving here.
we may
Yeah.
not be leaving. There's a lot of space. Karen was like, is this supposed to be actually funny? Like they think they're being ha-ha. And I again, I'm blacking out because the design was so heinous and they were proud of it. And so I was trying to go, okay, I don't want to be disrespectful. They're tickled with the way this looks. And who am I to say this is not beautiful? You know, it's in the beholder. So then they take us to the Disney themed room. And when
Floor.
I'm sorry, you're right. It was a floor. My apologies. My absolute apologies. It was a floor. Now, we should have said no 30 times. Like, no, we can't. No, we can't keep going on this tour because it never ended. The tour just really never ended. And we still hadn't eaten. So we still now had to sit for a meal of some kind, like refreshments, if you
Yeah.
will.
Right.
We get to the Disney floor, and it is borders and wallpaper and sofas. And, I mean, some people, look, I love Disney. This would make you not.
Disney threw up on that floor. Yeah.
On levels you can't wrap your brain around. You can't. If you've seen it, you still can't. Any Disney hotel needs to go over and take notes because it was something to behold. Then we go down to the screened-in porch, and they had made me a dairy-free pimento cheese. Y'all, I don't like pimento cheese any way it comes, but I don't say no because people pleaser. I say, oh my goodness, thank you. And sweet Leanne's like, is this from your bakery? This is, oh my, delicious. And what made you get into being a baker? I mean, she's from heaven. And Karen and I both are like, what? And then we go into the living room. We make plates and go in the living room.
We forgot the Halloween closet.
Oh, I forgot. See, y'all, I blacked out.
And the closet was
It wasn't a closet. It was like a attic. It was almost like an understairs. It was like a room.
Yeah,
Closet's a small word.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was major. They called it a closet, but it was major.
I mean, it honestly was probably 1,100 square feet. I'm not being funny. Like that closet's a small word. It was like you could rent it out for a good bit. It was massive.
Because it had rows and rows of Halloween.
Organized. By the way, the organization, love the gays.
Yeah, excellent.
I mean, the organization was second to none. Everything was tended to and meticulous. There wasn't a dust bunny to be seen. So when I tell you that it wasn't our style or taste as a whole, as a people, as a group, as the three of us, and Karen and I have very similar style. Yeah. So we were just like, huh. And remember, I was taking shots to send to Christy because I knew I couldn't tell her in true detail. So I just took as many. If I can find these pictures, because it was on an old phone, y'all. If it's somewhere on a hard drive, I will find them. It was something to behold, but I had to take the pictures on the down low. And then we make these little plates with desserts because one of them had a bakery, and made little dairy for all of the desserts. And we went in to go watch the Golden Girls,
which was. Now, the funniest line of the night, and let's just say, even though it was wild, over the top, bizarre, sweet,
the sweetest men, and they're precious,
and
they were so welcoming,
so
gracious,
welcoming, and wanted to do things for us, and we really did appreciate that.
We appreciated the time. Meaning, we could have just sat with them and had a coffee and been tickled. And they went, "Why do when you can overdo?" My mom would have been thrilled. And then we took that tour, y'all. I wasn't ready for that tour. I mean, it makes Graceland look like a 7-Eleven. I mean, this house was a something.
Yeah, it was something. Talking about a McMansion. Yeah.
It was, yes. We go to the family room. And here, Kate, please take it away.
Well, the funniest line of the whole night for me was, turns on Golden Girls and goes, "Oh, good, it's a new episode."
And was serious.
I didn't know if he was being funny or not. I never knew. But there hadn't been a new episode of Golden Girls in forever, so surely he meant that as a joke. But was the funniest thing.
But he didn't give a wink and a nod. That was the thing. Like, if somebody, or at least would have gave a wink, even if you're into practical jokes, even if you're the ultimate straight man, pardon the pun, but, like if you're really doing a joke and can hold no laugh, there was not one tell that he was kidding. And I thought, oh, dear Lord. And then I just look at Karen because she's holding this plate of desserts, and she gave the done face.
Oh, yeah.
You gave it several times, but you gave solid done face.
Oh, I was glazed over. It was so late. We'd gone through all those floors. Yeah, we were sitting down watching the Golden Girls, and I love the Golden Girls.
Love them.
But I was sitting there, and I looked at my watch, and I thought, I'm going to give it 10 more minutes, and I'm going to Uber, because I couldn't tell if anybody else was going to leave. And
no, you gave the look. I gave, and when I received your look, that's when I was like, I'm gonna have to circle up Leanne, because again, one of Leanne Morgan's many, 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 many gifts and strengths is that she could literally talk to a stone and make it feel included and loved and cared for and interested. And I'm so envious of that gift, because there is a moment Karen will check out, I straight black out. I look like I'm there.
Well, and Leanne said to me, she said, "I can tell you're glazed over." So
and so I went, oh, and so I just laid over the hot coals and said, y'all, I'm so done, because I can really just say I do have that gift of when I'm done, I say it as nice as humanly possible, and I'm like, I have to take to the bed. And then, of course, Leanne instantly was like, oh, I need to take to the bed. Leanne was right behind me, and then Karen was like, yep, let's go. Like, Kay was like, we're out. I don't think we've ran out of a face. And this was the wild part. They lived deep into like a big subdivision where they were at in the Carolinas. And our GPS did not work. I remember this because I was driving. And
I don't remember that.
Oh, I was horrified because it was like the movie Get Out. Like you couldn't get out. Like we could not. And so at one point I looped back and saw their house because the lighting was very distinct, shocking. And I was like, oh dear God, we're going to have to go back and ask for directions. I was like, mother effer no. So I was like, we're getting out of here. And Liam was recounting. We were laughing so hard. Karen and Liam were laughing so hard. Karen was coming back into her body of like, what just happened? And they sent us home with a container each of regular pimento cheese and the vegan pimento cheese. And let me tell you something. That vegan pimento cheese was to die for, y'all. I'm not going to lie to you. He could sell that in the stores and have his own island because I don't care for pimento cheese, and I was on fire about that vegan pimento cheese.
And the fact that he knew you were vegan and he
so
went to the
sweet.
trouble, it's so sweet.
And y'all, I'm not, just to be clear, I am just dairy free. I will eat back in the day I was full vegan. And I was swole like a tick from all the carbohydrates. So now I do eat meats, but I am allergic to dairy. So that was, again, how thoughtful. But we should have said, you know what? We don't have the bandwidth. We're exhausted after this show because we had performed.
Yeah, and traveled.
And traveled the same day. But all three of us, didn't want to be rude. They were precious. They took the time to have us over. But here's the great news, Kay. At least we have this story for the rest of our whole lives.
Yes, we do. We do.
Because honestly, we can't even reenact it. I know you and I both can tell a story. Leanne can tell a story. I know we've left things out.
Oh,
I'm not kidding
I'm
when
sure
I say
she has details we've forgotten.
we forgot, because I'm not kidding y'all. I blacked out. I do remember that they had actually green carpet on the back screened in patio instead of AstroTurf. And Leanne was like, that's a choice. And I'm just like, carpet, what's happening? Like, there were so many times that I was just like, oh me. Like, I just didn't know what to do because I don't have a poker face. That's probably why I don't say no, is because I just make a scrunched up face. Like, no, I don't want, like, I don't make a like, oh, people always go, oh, thank you for thinking of me, but I'm going to pass. I just go, okay, sure.
I know people who know me well, they'll just see my glazed over face and go, okay, we're getting out.
We're going to get out.
Yeah. 5 more minutes and we'll
I've learned with you now to, I'm not kidding, because I don't have the brain to remember time. I'll set a timer in my phone. Like, I start the timer on my phone to know how long we've been somewhere. Because I see, you'll do like a 2 blank. Kay's got this 2 blank situation, and there's 2 slow blanks, and she's dead faced. Like, there's no expression when I say dead faced, like just kind of 2 blanks. And I'm like, oh, she's left us. And we've got to scoot. Yeah, and we've got to scoot because there's no more. And she don't have the patience for it. And that's what I love. And you get real quiet.
Mm-hmm. I do.
It's okay.
Guilty.
You know what? It's okay. There's no guilty. I'm here for it. I'm going to start doing the new one that I hear a lot here in LA. People, when they don't want to go to things, go, I'm just protecting my peace. What? I'm like, the mosque day, I need to learn that because I just feel like that's extra hateful, even though because to me, that's worse than bless your heart. I'm just protecting my peace. Yeah. Like, that's like saying what you've got going on is a ring of fire.
That's right. That is exactly what that's like saying.
Your party sounds like the 7 gates of hell. What? I feel like I just can't make it. It feels a lot more clean than I'm just protecting my peace.
My favorite line was from Friends when they, I forget what everybody was doing, and it didn't sound, it's something that I don't know who said it to begin with, but anyway, Phoebe said, "Oh, I wish I could, but I don't want to."
You know what? I forgot about that. You're right. That's been in the zeitgeist for a long time, and I say we bring that back.
Yeah, I think so.
Say that one more time. I don't want to get it wrong.
Oh, I wish I could, but I don't want to.
I wish I could, but I don't want to.
I love that.
That's so good.
That's so true.
I wish I could, but I don't want to. That, or I'd love to. Can I bring my dog? Like, I usually tell people, like, if I'm like, hey, y'all want to come over, you can bring the dog. Because I'm so grateful to have 2 dogs that get along with everybody.
Yeah.
And then they learn to leave other dogs alone, which I love. Like, if you bring a dog, they, of course, sniff butts and say hi and yay. But then they're like, okay, cool, here's all my toys, and this is where we run, and we potty here. Okay. And they just, like, and then they just all relax. And I'm like, yeah. So anytime I have friends that I know have to worry about dog care, and I genuinely want them to come over and not feel, I'm like, I get it. Anybody, when you have such a little time now, I say, we'd love to have you, and bring the dog. Like, we'd love to have you. Relax. Don't stress about it. And that's when people are like, yeah, thank you. Thank you for thinking of me. Because it is a back of the mind how long sometimes people can stay somewhere.
That's right.
Not everybody has the luxury, I realize that, of being like, bring your dogs. I was going to say, these are the takeaways I'm learning, that technically it sounds very hippy dippy, but if you say no, it's actually like, again, protecting your peace, but it's saying yes to yourself. Like, there's some stuff that you're putting back on your power pad. Like, it's letting you recharge. If you say no, you're doing it because you're like, look, I got to power myself back up. Like, I don't have it in me.
Plus, if I want to say no, but I do it anyway, then it makes me resentful. And that's not good.
Okay, good. That is so good. That's true. And really, who are you resenting? Yourself and the situation, but no one put you in that situation but you. So I get it. I receive that because I'm like, damn it, I don't want to do this. I'm aggravated.
No, but I'm notorious for getting mad at somebody else for not already knowing what I need. I'm like, what do they want from me? I am going, I do, and I need some time. Good Lord, they should know that.
That's an Aries.
Rather than me just going, I'm sorry, I need to chill. I just can't do it today. I got to have some me time. No, I get mad at you because you don't recognize that I need a minute.
That's an Aries thing. My husband does the exact same thing, and he too is an Aries. That is so. You know who else does that? My mama, Aries.
Oh.
I'm just realizing this, and you're right, because I'm actually the opposite. As a Capricorn, I think, well, I am in charge of my schedule. I should have scheduled this better, and I should not have delegated someone else the authority over my well-being. Like, so I start going down this rabbit hole of, that's poor management, Trish. You should have managed this better, and you have not managed your expectations and everybody else. I fully have a full staff meeting in my head with just me. Makes no sense whatsoever. And I'd love for people to send us their no stories. Like, what have you had trouble saying no to? Have you had something crazy like Kay and I and Leanne had? And we have to think of what to call that. It was the
not the House of Horrors, but it was the house of
big gay house. It was a big gay house.
It's almost like the Spencer house. I mean, a lot of the stuff was like that Spencer store. That I don't know if they even have them still, but.
Spencer's Gifts. Y'all remember Spencer's? It had like wacky. It was that, but then weirdly like I'm going to say like late 80s, early 90s design aesthetic.
Yeah.
Because it was, I really can't press upon you the level at which this was designed to the nines. Like there's no words for how designed it was. And yeah. That was one of those moments. So if you have a story like that, we'd love to hear it. Sorry, my table is rocking because I have a 90-pound lab.
Oh, it's
he has risen. Come on up. Come up. He's chonky. He can go up her. Come on, Chonk. You can do it. He's tap dancing because he simply can't do it. Oh, yeah, recount.
There he is.
There's a Wesley.
Hi, Wesley. Our baby boy.
Took all his energy, honey. He's a yo chonky. It's okay. I say, I'm not fat. I'm big boned. And then dude's mad because I'm talking about him. No, you're in great shape, son. I'll get to y'all in a minute. Well, that concludes our episode simply because my dogs, see, I can't say no.
See, I know, and they're ready to W-A-L-K.
W-A-L-K, Karen. And I love that I have headphones on and Karen still spelt it because you're an amazing dog mom. And you know that there's no way to say that word and not hear barking for the next 3 to 5 minutes.
That's right.
Y'all, I have to learn to say no to my dogs, and I don't know how to do that. I guess that's step one. They run me. I live in a very nice dog house, thank God. Mm-hmm. But these two run the rodeo. They really do.
That's okay. I feel like that's okay.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah, they're the only ones I'm allowed to not say no to.
That's right.
That's all right. Karen, I love you, and I love doing this show with you. And we're going to have fun guests on, y'all. We're back to regularly scheduled programming. We are going to get back to our business. A lot of fun people coming on. If there's people you'd love to hear from us, drop us a DM. Let us know. Drop us a note. We'd love it. We do see all your DMs. If I don't get to answer them all, but I try to, because Karen's got enough on her plate, and I tend to that. So in case y'all are wondering, I tell Kay everything, but I tend to that. So you can find me at trishsur.com. That's where tour dates are. That's where you can find where I'm at on TV, all the things, and all my socials at the top. So follow me there. And you can find Karen at Karen Mills.
KarenMills.com.
And she's on tour this summer. I'm probably going to be at a Camping World dealership this summer. You're welcome. Doing a lot of shooting with Camping World because 'tis the season. It's camping season.
That's right.
It's fun out there. So we love y'all. We hope that you're making today great. If you have a minute, do your girls a favor and subscribe to What I Know So Far. Share it with a friend. If you have a friend that's having trouble saying no, hey, send them this, because guess what? We get
They might
it.
not be able to say no anymore, but at least they can commiserate with us.
Yeah, and there are girls, because y'all know because look, we're 98% girls and a few gays on here. We get it. We know who's showing up, and we're thrilled all the way around for everybody that shows up for us. The girls and the gays and the theys. Come on. You're our people. Get over here.
On.
Everybody. You're
On
loved.
board.
Get on over to What I Know So Far. So we love you. Follow us and rate, subscribe, and review the show. Takes just a quick second. You can do it on whatever platform you're listening to, but it would mean a whole lot to your girls. And we'll bring you fresh new content. And we love you to pieces. Have the best week ever.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.